Is Falgun Shukla Dwadashi 12. So after Ekadashi, Rangabhari Ekadashi, today we have Dwadashi 2079 Vikram Sambat, and something is special for Kashi. So I will emphasize Kashi with the help of the slides, I think. Okay? So just giving you a quick glimpse.
I'm coming. Yes.
ये चल रहा है?
हाँ सर। ये आप
नहीं ये लाइट कहाँ से आ गई?
लाइट तो उसमें
कहाँ से?
इस एरो से आपको नीचे करेंगे।
ये तो ये हुआ ना, कोई हैंडल कर दे, मुझे दिक्कत है।
मैं कर देता हूँ।
Okay, just to give you a glimpse that why we are considering this is when we are talking about Indian knowledge system, I am trying to link with cosmological frame of the ancient Vedic and Puranic traditions, and just a glimpse. We have the whole publication in the Cambridge series, so it is just like you can say example, just to give you an idea that look here is symmetry, and this goes back to 5th, 6th century AD. Who has made, how it has been made, so precise, 80% alignment. So just to keep this Indian knowledge system. Next. कोई help कर दे भाई, next. Okay. Just to give you an idea, it is nothing like only we are talking about the Indian system. Just to give you another glimpse, Leonardo da Vinci. So you can see his image and his own drawing, right hand side, and then compare with the Varanasi and the Indian knowledge system, that how this number 108. So that is the most sacred number, not only in India, in most of the ancient traditions. And also credit goes to Leonardo da Vinci, who has tried to compare. We have studied that whole area for several years. Just giving you an idea. So you can just see the time frame, 4, day and night, 2 phases of each. So that's how that became 4, okay? 2 into 2, 4. Then 4 direction, 4 coordinate direction, and center to move, 9, okay? And the 3 realms, Akash, or you can say Swarg, this realm, and underground, multiply all 108. There are 108 explanation. We have all these are existing already, but we have never thought only muttering that count, numbering. So it is not like this. This gives you the link from humanity to divinity through the numerical system and pilgrimage system. Next. This is again that how propaganda from the West, the Shiva linga is erotic symbolism. Rarely people try to read Fridge of Capra Tau of Physics, 1975. There is a full chapter describing this is not Shiva linga. This Shiva linga mandala, the whole cosmic reality and all the quantum physics theory dealt with Shiva linga. So we have to know that these are code words, metaphorically said like this, but you go in depth, then you can find the whole understanding in it. So here is a wonderful example when we are talking about Indian knowledge system, how East and West meet. Simple example, you can see the center portion. The lower side is 3 plates. There are 108 types. Then 7 layers, you say, Kuldani chakra like this, 7 up, 7 down, 3D. So this is the way Brahma creation start. Then you see 8, 4 plus 4, Vishnu. And this way the whole body is what we call in psychological term archetypal representation of body representing cosmos. And then comes Yupa, which is wrongly translated as female organ. You see the Sanskrit text, especially Matsya Purana, that is not Hiranya Garavena. That is the golden egg of the cosmos and the plate. And then comes the energy upper portion, what you say linga. But you please try to see the original text, how they describe. And only a single word can open the whole mystery, and credit goes to Fridge of Copra in the Western world. Akasha Rupena Chitra Matrena. When you awaken your consciousness of mind, keep your head up, see the sky, always this is like this. That is Akasha Rupa, and that is the infinite energy meeting with the Hiranyagarbha, and that's why the water is coming. No way we say water, Sharana Amrita. It is Amrita, nectar for the life. This is the way. Just to say you, again, here is a typical example. I don't know how many of you have seen Vishwanathji. so closely. Naked version like this. Closely watch that. You see that there is a plate like this. It is combination of the two forces, Purusha and Prakriti, Shiva and Ma. This is unique thing in this particular linga as described in the text also. Next. Just to give you the same idea what I have already referred, that how it is representing the three. In theoretical construction, we say that the macrocosmos, celestial, then mesocosmos, earthly, then individual temple or the body itself. And altogether integration, that's how the whole numerical system of 108 is going on. Next. Some typical example, which you only in Kashi, nowhere else. I will show you 4 such examples unique in the whole world. Many scholars from the West, especially scientists, are working not from Banaras. Banaras people are only talking glorification, not going to the scientific thing. Many majority. There may be some. Here is a typical example, 212 historical ancient sites replicated around 8th or 9th century in Varanasi. This is the frame you can see. One example I am showing you. We have done this is nothing like my work. So you have to remember, it is nothing like a single word is mine. This is based on about more than 35 years of work with a different university, different scholars from different parts of the world, including even Belgium. Our teacher's teacher, Vinand Kaliworth, a great professor of Sanskrit from Leuven. We have studied long back, 20 years back in Leuven. Okay, so that is a typical example. They have replicated that in a miniature form. So environmental setting and the priest relationship always maintained in Varanasi. So what we call this is the microcosmic representation of whole India in one city, and that is Kashi. Next. This is unique. Only one piece in the whole world. Never happened. And no hope at all in the future. Nobody can easily make it. On 14th of January, anybody can go with high level resolution GPS and electromagnetic meter, and you can measure exact sunlight is going to touch Yama, and then from Yama it is reflecting to Samba. And a single word has decoded by great scientist John King Malville, my Guruji, from Astrophysics, Colorado, and this the mystery has opened. Sometimes we go to literal explanation. I am citing the original verses like Sambaditya Kendri Bhute. Samb, the son of Krishna from Jamanti. Kendri at the center. Bhute means we translated Bhut Pichas. Or past, and that was a great mistake without using Astadhyay. If you explain this, that is the infinity of time. The moment we got that message that Bhut means this, then we have added it has the cosmic sense. And that's how this was published in 1995 in most of the important journals and magazines all over the world. That this is a unique thing that is going on. Who has created, how has been created, nobody knows. And then you can see a circle frame. All the 12 sun signs are like this. So it is a center, it is moving like this. Another contribution, that is again one. You go left side and so it links from Lolarka to Uttararka. Uttararka, the early sun. Draw the line, first time in the history of science that we got exact plotting of northern route, that is the cosmic north. That is already published in NASA report. Okay, that project was sponsored by NASA and National Science Foundation. So this is the unique thing that is a part of the ritual tradition people are worshipping. But the moment you go in depth, then you can understand the deeper meaning behind that, how we can relate, human can relate to the cosmos. This is a typical example. Lolar Kund is another example. Next. That is the example, southernmost, from where the center has been measured. Again, you can go on 14th of August. You go to Lolar Kund and see the sun rays exactly following a particular line. That history goes to 5th, 6th century, according to our dates. Not historical date. It is astronomical calculation through the Smithsonian, etc. So that is another unique thing. Who has built this? We know only repairing things that this king has done. Here is an inscription, here is a text. But there is something beyond that. Okay, next. That is another perspective that generally we say there are 84 ghats. Lakh Chaurasi, Janam Gavayo, Kabir, etc. Those who understand a little bit Hindi, that in the 84 lakhs of organic species, a prana has to follow on. That had been converted into 84 gods. Okay, not easy that you can do all the rituals at 84 gods. We have never found a person who has continuously done this. Not possible. Then they have tried to reduce in the 5. Panchabhuta, the 5 gross elements related to the 5, and you can say left hand side how the body has been fixed, body of Shiva and the 5 gods. Again, study is going on that what electronic magnetic waves are going on, why that 5 have come. How it is nothing like only symbolism, it has something deeper meaning. Next. These are just to have a glimpse of the gods. Next. This is a typical example of 16th century text, Brahmavayartha Purana, Kashi Rahasya, that describe in the 4 division of time, Yuga, that is Satyuga, Treta, Dwapar and Kali Yuga, how Kashi has developed. So that was a metaphorical description. When in scientific level we try to study the histogenesis of landscape, I am citing only 2 results. You see the second Treta, that is the hypothetical diagram, what it described in the text, 16th century, that was Akbar period. And now you see here is a GPS circle. It is about 99% correct. The most important thing is that text described 96 sites on the circumference and we find 100% correct. All the lingas are exactly, buildings fallen down, upper portion fallen down, repairing made, but the original linga are imaging exactly in the same way and all turning like this toward the center. This is all published. You can just put my name or Malville name and you can get all these things. So this is just example. This type of knowledge, we call it landscape geometry, that was so unique in Indian text. Next. Panchkoshi Yatra, which is one among the 3 in the whole world. The most important and popular, that is called Santiago de Compostela, okay, into France and Spain. That goes about 1,885 kilometers journey. From 1 day helicopter, and then you can go 60 days just to walk like this. That is the first. Second one is Shikoku in Japan, that is 1,380 kilometer, and that the similar. These are unique in the whole world when we are talking about spiritual tourism, pilgrimage tourism, heritage, unparalleled. There is no 2 example. But in India also we have something unique, Panchkoshi Yatra. In Kashi, around Kashi, let's go to 88.6 kilometer, and then 108 shrines and temples. We have done electromagnetic survey and the correspondence is 78% accurate with the alignment. Who has made? We don't know. How the tradition has developed? We don't know. The only thing we know that our great sages had developed these things to understand this. Next. Vinayaka, Ganesha in the form of mother, Sindur, vermilion is offered as a symbol of motherhood. Ganesh is here in the form of mother, 50 set, 8 into 7. The 7 Kundalini chakra, 8 direction, and that is moving. You can say, oh my goodness, this is just theoretical diagram. Sorry to say, it is 100% correct. All that alignment correct. This is based on answer and all published in scientific journals. So that is another example that will take 3 days. But Kashi having typical parampara, Banarsi pan hai. Okay, you have no time for 3 days, don't worry, go for only 1 hour. And that is the image. And all the 56 character in one, and then you can have Chama Srotam, asking issues and get the merit. That is Banarsi style. Okay, nowhere else. Next. This is the typical example that how the 5 Panchabhutas converted into pilgrimage route, and then you can see parallel that how it is fitting into the reality. Theoretical left hand side and real here is right hand side, all are existing. Nothing like one is missing, no, sorry. All are going on, all are part of the practice. If you have not done, please do. Next. That is another typical example just to say that how this whole image developed in mind. So if you follow Carl Jung, etc., the archetypal representation, in the left hand side you can see the colorful map. Credit goes to Mahamana Malviji, that was saved, and we have that original copy where Malviji has put the signature, 1933. That was saved. And after that, Varanasi style, they have broken that whole stone, 1.5 meter into half meter. They put bhang and thrown in the Ganga, but print is with us. Okay? So that is Varanasi style. What I want to say, just compare the left hand and the right hand side, lower side, Leonardo da Vinci, 1496. See the similarity. That great man never visited Asia, but he imagined in the similar way town planning, how the grid should be, how the river can move. We have studied this, and we have already published our report in Italian from that Accademia Ambrosiana, Milano. Next. That is another perspective. You see how this whole Kundalini chakra converted on the land. So this is Antargrihi Yatra, 7 round. It starts like this, from Hriday Kshetra, move like this, and ultimately lead to the navel cord. The study is going on, but unfortunately, due to some other, that I am not going to say, something negative things, that people stop that whole study that was going from Astrophysics Department, University of Kyoto. That how this energy is going on, how they have developed this, why they have developed this. It has the scientific base. Next. Kashi Vishwanath, old one. Generally say we that this is the temple. This is not temple, what James Prinsep said. This is a wonderful great cosmogram, a design of the cosmic converted into architectural style, and see that map. What he has drawn, second one. And now third one, you see the all that symmetry. How this exactly 100% all that. So credit get to James Prinsep, 1822. First time, and then 1831 that map was published, and we have re-studied this. Next. This just to say that 108, what I have already referred, and 3 mythical realm, you can multiply 108 into 3. How much? Without calculation, without calculator, you can say 108 3 times, how much? But majority is not saying anything. Yes, exactly, that is the number of Shiva, and that is the number of Parvati also. Without that feminine spirit, no way can go. But in exact real sense, only 96 exist today, but the name changes in different, and that's how counted 324. 324 Shiva form and 324 form of Parvati or goddess or Shakti, whatever, different form. So we have plotted all this and then tried to again study the divine forces, electromagnetic forces, and a great theory first time. In Asia it has been proved. In religious literature you can see the third diagram, that the moment you go from out to inner, the intensity is going to be so dense. There's a simple law of chaos theory, theoretical physics. And that credit goes to John Kim Malville, who used that and published it in Nature, that anybody can go there in Varanasi, test it. There is nothing like that exactly how to prove it, but that is the reality. Next. This is one among the 3 such buildings in whole Asia. One is in Varanasi, 1815. Each inch of space and brick based on the tantric system of the whole body. You can see the lower side body, then the plan and how it is looking like. Credit goes to ASI UP, that they have now modified, repaired, now saved. Now this is part of the heritage tourism. Next. Another, Ram Leela Ramnagar, the only one piece in the whole world based on the environmental theater. This is nothing like stage like theater. 7 books written by New York University Professor Richard Schechner, and he has started 7 days program in New York State University campus for this. 31 sites in the same manner, all the Leela is going, and the people are following that. Nothing like modernity. That is the unique things of Indian knowledge system. Of course, you can say that in early 19th century, but based on the ancient text. Next. That is another typical example, what I have cited, that most of the important sites replicated. This is another example of Jyotirlinga. The lingas related to manifestation of light. They are 12 in India level, then transferred, you can see in left hand side, then lower side only 1 temple, and all are replicated in the same manner, and all having alignment in that direction. So we have gone to those places, and through the electromagnetic survey all has been tested like this. Next. This is another example, Bharat Mata Mandir. the only one piece in the whole world. Verticality, horizontality, 9.6 times that. Anywhere you can go 1,300 pieces of that, and you can measure the size. That is exact. Mahatma Gandhi has inaugurated that. That is in Varanasi, but we are Banarsi people. If you closely watch the wall, most of the paintings last. And we wrote so many funny things. I love you, Gita, come on, these, then rub it and all that. That is Banaras. Anyway, next. Now 2-3 more examples. This is the example of Gaya. Mostly we talk that is the city of ancestral worship. But this is another cosmic. There are 3 such unique cities. That is Prayagraj, Allahabad, Kashi, Varanasi, and then Gaya. This is the example based on the solar sign and impact of the rays, how they make the mandala, the 3 layers, and then measurement of all the rays, how they are linked together. Next. The best known example in India is Chitrakoot. Typical example based on Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana I am citing, there is a description of Chitrakoot Mahatmya, and that described how Rama was sitting there, how Bharatji met there, where was Valmiki, and that goes to 27 kilometers distance. So from the Valmiki center, that is second you can see left hand side the top, and then it goes like this. When we have measured, it is 100% correct. The way that has been described, we have decoded and correct. What knowledge was that? Remember, that is Valmiki Ramayana, Chitrakoot Mahatma. Next. Next, chaliye. Close by now, 2-3 more. Just Vindhyachal. We go to temple, one temple, and then worship and come. Never try to understand that what is behind that. Look at this triangle. The red triangle is mother, goddess. Blue is Shiva. That is exact hexagram. So we studied 51 temples all over India, and then we have tried to see how it can be replicated in the landscape of Vindhyachal. You can cross both the triangle, and the center is the ashma. This is naval code like this. It is whole archetypical representation what once Carl Jung has talked about India. This is a typical example of goddess worship linking whole India into one cell. Next. That is another example, Khajuraho. Always we talk, oh Khajuraho, why to go Khajuraho? To see that all that erotic scene, blah, blah, blah. And then you go see the image. Sorry to say, that image has only 7%. You have never tried to see the whole landscape. This is a typical example. Shivratri is coming. We have studied 7 years on all the Shivratris. Okay? With all that radar system. See the example. First map, left hand side, center. That is just like the peak, and there is a small crystal something there. Sun rays will come on the day of Shivratri, and that it reflect, and that goes on the 21 sides exactly there. This is the way. The greatest mystery in the whole world perhaps, that how the Shivratri is linked to this one. This is a typical example. Whenever you are interested in all this, you can put that and you can get that scientific papers all free. Okay, next. Another example, Khajuraho, that is Kandariya Mahadev, just to go give you the little bit reference. Next. This is another one piece in the whole world. The only building in the whole world, there is nothing like inside any depth. This is start from the surface. 3 times earthquake, nothing happened in that, while 50 buildings fallen down, and that history goes to early 11th century. How that has been made? That is Brihadeshwara. Next. Okay, you all know Kumbh Mela. World record 105 million, that is 2019. This is not my, this is BBC, American Express, and all that, just to give you this reference how that has been evolved. And first time reference you will find in the Atharva Veda. Then full description by one song. Description. So that history goes to 1000 BC, that somehow sages realize this and they have converted this. These are the typical example of Indian knowledge system. Next. That is another Prayagraj, just I was talking that how this mandala developed. Next. And they developed the full city plan for that period. Banaras Hindu University, that is also a unique building, but we have never emphasized that. See the whole plan. Okay. So it is divided into 5 circles. Panchabhuta. Kshitijal Pav Gagan Samira, you all know that. And then 7 up, 7 down. Shoda Bhuvana Kosha. This way the plan was made. So what Malaveji had thought, then a great master of architectural planning who introduced civic sense in planning, that was the man involved in converting this, that was Patrick Geddes, who introduced this civic sense in planning and architecture. That's why I put that image. And any Besant who started that journey, and Malaveji completed the whole destination. Next. Compare this. Vatican, right hand side. See that town planning, and now you see Banaras Hindu University Temple, Vishwanathji. See the plan. So much similarity. So Shiva is not only God. Shiva is representing the whole cosmic, what we call cosmic whole. WHO only, not H. Okay, just to have compare. Next. Simple line, just to conclude this, the science does not need mysticism. Mysticism does not need science, but we human beings need both. That is Fritjof Capra. Next. Vivekanand ji, Utishthata Jagrat Prapya Varanya Vodayat, Kathopanishad. That is the 5th lecture in Chicago. Arise and awake and try to see there is something so deeper, my dear, in this country, and that is one of the understanding of Indian knowledge system. Next, and thanks. Next. So just to say thank you that we need 3 things. Astha, the deeper faith in that, not ritualistic. Most of us go to temple and then ask something. Kuch mil jaye. तो आप तो सौदेबाजी कर रहे हैं, वो नहीं. Astha does not mean that one. No. It is beyond that. It is directly linking humanity to divinity to understand, and then we have to pass on the tradition. Like you see old man, that is famous picture from Raghuveer Singh, that how old man transferring that, and you can see the child, you remember Wordsworth, child is the father of man, child is innocent, and that's how the tradition is going on, and fellow will grasp, and this way this knowledge will transfer from one generation to another generation. Thank you very much.